Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Boomer Bust Podcast. I'm Max Dorsey, joined alongside Max Showstack. It is Tuesday, April 13th, and Julian Edelman retired?
Yeah, he did. I mean, as an NFL fan and a non-Patriots fan, it's puts a smile on my face because I never really liked watching Julian Edelman, but that underdog story is incredible. And
yeah.
I respect that, and a piece of Julian Edelman should be in the Hall of Fame. Not Julian Edelman, but the gloves from the Super Bowl, something, because that's just the ultimate underdog story, which is what football is all about. Kent State quarterback, no offers, and now he's, fourth in yards in Patriot history.
Yeah, second most yards in playoff history and most receptions in playoff history.
Super Bowl MVP, three-time Super Bowl champion. That's what football is all about, and Julian Edelman should have something cemented in football eternity, but just not his face.
Yeah, and we'll get into the mock draft, which I'm sure is why a lot of you clicked on this video, because that's what we're going to be doing today, and then maybe a few other draft things a little later on. But I feel like the debate of yesterday is Julian Edelman in the Hall of Fame, so that was going to be my question, and it sounds like you're leaning towards no.
Definitely no.
But he is NFL great, maybe.
Yes, I do think he is, and just that Patriots dynasty that we all grew up watching, Julian Edelman is attached to that thought with Tom Brady and guys like that. So Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman's right up there.
Yeah, I think I was in a debate with a few Patriots fans that on Twitter today, and one of our friends tweeted, he's a Giants fan, and he said that if Julian Edelman is in the Hall of Fame, then Eli better be a first ballot, and I thought that was a pretty good way to put it.
So Cam?
Yeah, it was Cam.
Yeah. I think so, and I think Julian Edelman and Eli Manning's Hall of Fame cases, believe it or not, to me, are pretty similar. Just one's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, the other's a wide receiver, and I think that you're going to leave the wide receiver out. But Eli Manning's about 2 plays away from being viewed as a disappointment. I saw that quote somewhere, and I think that's fairly accurate. An Asante Samuel play away from not beating Brady one of the 2 times. So I think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer because he's got 2 rings, but just makes...
I don't even think Eli's a Hall of Famer.
He doesn't deserve it, but I think the 2 rings is like, yeah. Like if Joe Flacco had another ring, he would also be a Hall of Famer.
Joe Flacco has more like regular season accolades than Eli Manning.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know.
He also has the perfect.
I think none of them are Hall of Famers.
In my perfect world, none of them should be, because those 2 rings really, like, I know he beat Brady and everything, but like other sports like the MLB, like that's a prestigious Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Eli Manning's not like prestigious football in my eyes.
I think that's a valid point.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a draft podcast. For those of you who don't know, me and Max, we classify ourselves as draft geeks, if you will. Follow his Instagram, shout it out.
NFL Draft Geek.
And this is on the YouTube, so that's my channel, but we're kind of combining both.
Yep.
We're in the process of doing that. But regardless, we did want to do a mock draft today, mainly for views because we're sellouts, but also because it's enjoyable and I think it's fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun content. So how this is going to work is there's going to be no trades because we're both making picks. We're going to switch off. Last time we did this on the radio show, I had the first pick, so you'll take the first pick. So you get the Ravens and the Broncos. I'm a Broncos fan. He's a Ravens fan. And I'll get the teams that I don't like. But regardless, you can start off with the number 1 overall pick. We're going to switch off. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
Jacksonville Jaguars, easy pick. Don't mess it up, Urban. Trevor Lawrence, thank you.
Yeah. I'm not even going to...
Write it in blood.
Yeah, let's not even talk about that one, and we're not going to talk about the second one either. It's Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU.
So, pick 3, kind of where the draft starts in my mind. I'm not ready to call it set in stone. But
And, like, last week I was more ready to call it set in stone. This week I'm way less ready because it's like, at this point, anything could happen. The 49ers could be talking out of their ass this whole time. Do insiders really get anything right until draft day? Not really. So I feel like Mac Jones at 3, which is what you were hinting at, still very much in play, but I think you can go a bunch of different directions here.
I'm not going Mac Jones at 3. So I think you're going to see these other 2 quarterbacks, Fields and Lance, throw again. And I think I mentioned this last time, but you had San Francisco skip Bosa's pro day in 2019 for Quinnen Williams' pro day. And I think that the Mac Jones thing was to get a second look. When let's say they're sold on Fields and they just want to go see Jones again. I think that's where the rationale for skipping that pro day was. And I'm going to go Fields at 3. And I think if you have him sitting behind Jimmy Garoppolo, because I don't think Fields is ready to be a day one NFL starter, but I think if Fields sits behind Jimmy Garoppolo, he can kind of work through becoming a better quarterback mentally in that aspect of the game, developing his arsenal. And I think on a really good team, Justin Fields will succeed, especially given the time to sit behind a good quarterback.
That's a bold pick, and I don't know if I'm just quite ready to switch it up for Mac Jones yet. I think if I was picking at 3, I still would, and I think it's kind of what we talked about before last week, and if you haven't seen that episode, check it out. But I think when you look at Kyle Shanahan's past and what he's been successful with, it's been the Matt Ryans, it's been the Kirk Cousins, the guys that are smart, don't turn the football over. And that's why I think that the Mac Jones, in a way, makes sense, because he is that build, right?
Yeah.
He's a really, really smart quarterback, really good accuracy. He proved that at the Senior Bowl, proved it all season long. You said something about Stark, said that he had the most control of the line of scrimmage out of any Alabama quarterback that he's ever coached.
Yeah.
So a guy that just really understands the game comes to him. He doesn't make turnovers. He doesn't make mistakes. So that's kind of why I think that Shanahan and him pairing makes more sense, even though that it would be so much fun to see Shanahan with a Fields or a Lance and a running quarterback.
I think also those quarterbacks were handed to Shanahan, and this time Shanahan can go get his guy. And you've seen the people he's lost to. He's lost to guys like Mahomes. He lost to Josh Allen last year. I think he wants the superstar quarterback. And Mac Jones is just another Garoppolo to me. And while Garoppolo I don't think is a bad quarterback, he knows how to produce with what he's given. I think Fields and Lance, and I think if I was John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, this would be set in stone. Give me the kid from NDSU, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I think Fields just makes sense to be the superstar quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. So 1, 2, and 3, Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, and at 4, this is a tough one because I've seen a lot of quarterback reports recently. This could be the Lance spot. We could see Lance go to the Atlanta Falcons, but I just like Kyle Pitts too much. I'm taking Pitts.
Yeah, I think it's Lance or Pitts for me, or a trade back, or
Fields if he's available. And
I think the front office likes Lance over Fields is what I've heard, but I think the GM wanted a QB, Arthur Smith wanted a role with Ryan, and the word on the street is they're no longer having that debate.
Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
Or Blank's the owner.
Yeah. But here we go with Pitts, and I don't think you can hate the pick at all. Pick 5, seeing a lot of Jamar Chase, and like the Fields pick that I made earlier, I'm not ready to believe that Jamar Chase is going to be a Bengal. And I think they just have to take the smart pick, take Penny Sewell, and just kind of secure that up, secure that O-line. You have Riley Reif, who's 32 on a one-year deal. You're going to have to build an O-line if you want to compete with the teams that love to just destroy quarterbacks in that division with TJ Watt. Alex Highsmith's going to develop into a superstar. Myles Garrett. They're looking at another edge rusher. Maybe they bring in Clowney. That was supposed to happen today.
I think it will eventually happen.
It will. And then the Ravens have a million pass rushers.
Who do the Ravens have?
The Ravens, pass rusher-wise, after losing all those guys. Yeah. But I think Pernell McPhee's really good. And then you have Derek Wolfe, Calais Campbell.
I'll give you Calais.
Yeah. Jalen Ferguson is nuts.
How old is he? He's like, what, 24?
Jalen Ferguson? Probably 24, 25.
Yeah, he's really young.
He led the college football in sacks.
Yeah, I think. Where was he?
Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I like Ferguson as well. I think that he can develop into a good player. But you're right. I mean, as much fun as Jamar Chase would be reuniting with Joe Burrow, when you look at the tackle class compared to the receiver class, Bengals pick very early in the second round. You could get a guy
Terrace Marshall.
Exactly, Terrace Marshall, Kadarius Toney. Elijah Moore might even be available then. Rondale Moore. Because the Bengals have X's right now. Higgins is an X in my opinion. Tyler Boyd even could be an X. I know he plays in the slot a lot.
He's incredible out of the slot.
But he's a really good receiver from the outside as well.
And Auden Tate is productive.
Exactly. So even if you want a weapon, and like you said, even a weapon he's familiar with, Terrace Marshall's there. By the way, did you see they brought in Thaddeus?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't think he'll play at all. But
he might not make the team.
But it's fun. Fun storyline.
It is.
But again, Sewell is a generational talent, and Chase is good, but Sewell is a generational talent at the tackle position. So there's other options at wide receiver later in the draft. Why not take the guy that can protect Joe Burrow now?
Exactly.
I agree with that. All right, so at 6, Jamar Chase. he fell this far. I think the Dolphins, yeah, you might want to get a guy that Tua's familiar with in Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, but Jamar Chase to me, is better than both those guys.
Yeah. So I'm not going to disagree with that pick. I think it's Chase or Slater at that point, especially if Pitts is gone. 7 makes that a little difficult, but I'm going to stick with wide receiver. I don't really think the Lions have nothing, and they brought in Jared Goff, and you need to get him some help.
The goofball.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle here over a guy like Devontae Smith, and I just think you're taking Jalen Waddle for tons of upside here. He's a better athlete than Smith, and I think he's just got the NFL build that you don't really see from Smith, and I'm not saying that doesn't make Smith good. I'm just saying that I would rather have Jalen Waddle immediately than Devontae Smith, and I think that's what the Lions need.
And let's not kid ourselves, like, Jared Goff isn't the best quarterback in the world. You could literally line up Waddle anywhere, and he could be effective. It also gives you the ability to do the little shuffle pass from behind the line of scrimmage, bring him in motion.
And Goff did that with Woods and
yes,
stuff
exactly.
like that.
Stuff that he was familiar with. I don't know how great the Lions coaching staff is at this point in time. I know they want to bite off people's kneecaps, but other than that, I don't know if they're great. But regardless, I think that Jalen Waddle is the type of guy that can just make Jared Goff's life easier in Detroit. And when your wide receiver 1 currently in time is Quintus Cephas, you got to do something else. And I think Jalen Waddle is a good way to kind of switch it up for them.
Yeah.
All right, so at 8, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Again, we're not doing trades, as much fun as that would be, but it would get a little confusing. I'm going Slater, tackle out of Northwestern, to the Panthers. I think Trey Turner is currently a right tackle.
I think so.
Slater's very versatile.
Yeah,
you can line him up
all
at
5.
guard. You can line him up at left tackle. I think Turner's is kind of a versatile tackle as well. So it gives you flexibility to kind of move around your offensive line, find out which fit is best. But I think another guy that I think his floor is currently higher than Sewell's is what we're hearing a lot. So I think Slater to the Panthers makes a lot of sense.
He might not be that 6'5", 6'6" guy, but Slater can play everywhere. Get Darnold some protection. He never really had that with the Jets. And you have weapons on offense, so give Darnold time, and those will be Darnold's friends, and I think Darnold's got potential left.
And so, Greg Little isn't a feasible left tackle.
No,
currently.
Greg Little should not be a left tackle. I liked Greg Little when he was coming out of college, but don't put him at left tackle for Sam Darnold.
That's currently his starting left tackle. So at 9, my Broncos are on the clock. Who you taking?
I am going to give you somebody, FCS boy, Trey Lance.
Love it.
And I think Trey Lance has maybe has arguably the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks. And that's including Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jaguars. So Trey Lance gets to land with one of the best rosters in the NFL if quarterback didn't exist. And I think he can really succeed with all the weapons that they have. And I think Trey Lance if he is a Bronco, that's dangerous.
I would love that. And again, I want to make something clear. This is where the draft is going to start to get a little unrealistic from the quarterback standpoint, because I think Max and I would agree on this. Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields should all be gone by the top 10.
Yeah. And that's not going to happen without trades.
Exactly.
But
And it isn't going to happen without trades. So Jones is going to fall probably to New England or the football team if he falls that far in this mock. But again, we don't think that's necessarily the most realistic outcome, but it's a mock with no trades. And right now, this is the current draft order, so we're kind of choosing with what we have.
Yeah.
It's almost better to make a mock without trades.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen. For all we know,
this is how it could play out.
The Bucks are going to trade up.
Yeah.
All right, at 10, with both tackles off the board, I think Surtain is the easy pick.
I think Surtain is the easy pick. You're seeing a lot of J.C. Horn.
It could be J.C.
It could be, and I think J.C. Horn, if he's the first corner off the board, it's probably to Carolina, because that's just like that press man, get in your face defense. But Surtain, I think, is the best, and Dallas needs the best corner they can get.
Yeah.
Pick 11, Giants. I am going to give them yet another weapon on offense, and really sorry, Eagles fans, but Giants steal Devontae Smith right under the Eagles' bill, and I think if the Giants can land another weapon, I think Daniel Jones is going to have success, and I don't believe in Daniel Jones, but I think if you surround him with enough talent, he can succeed. Anybody could succeed. And I think that's what the Giants have to set him up for. Devontae Smith can create space. We talked about this last time. Galladay's not really your space creator. Shepard struggled with that a little bit. And Slayton's more of a wide receiver 4 in my eyes. So I think Devontae Smith is a good pick, and I think they can address defense a little later.
Yeah, if you're a Giants fan, and again, we touched on this last week, and you think that your receiving core is set and that Daniel Jones will succeed with that, it's not, because his main problem right now is he doesn't have a receiver that can create separation, and that's why he has been so, I would say, below average in the past. Because I do sort of believe in him if you get him some weapons, and I think Galladay's a good guy, because Daniel Jones, he's not afraid to take chances, and when you have a receiver like Galladay that's so good on the contested catch, it makes it more easy to just be like, oh, okay, I can trust this guy to throw it up. But then again, you need players that can create separation or have big catch radiuses. Slayton might have a bigger catch radius, but he struggled with drop issues, and Shepard does not have a big catch radius. I think getting Devontae Smith, who definitely creates the separation, has great hands, best hands in the class, I think it's a really, really good pickup. So even if Slater's on the board, even if who else would they pick?
Parsons, any edge rusher.
Yeah, any edge rusher is on the board. I think wide receiver could definitely still be in play for the Giants.
And the rumor has that they're infatuated with Devontae Smith, so there you have it.
All right, well, you took Devontae Smith away from the Eagles, which I don't mind because I hate the Eagles. The Elijah Moore fan in me kind of just wants to throw him here at 12 because that would be fun. I'm not going to do it. J.C. Horn is going to be the pick here.
Okay, I was going to question anything else. But yeah, their corners are terrible.
Darius Slay is
Slay's, but the unit,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're going against good quarterbacks in that division, but they just get torched day in and day out, and J.C. Horn is just so good.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Pick 13 could go a ton of different directions here, but I'm hearing they love Christian Darrisaw, and that's where I'm going to go. And I think protecting Herbert has to be a priority in order for them to fully succeed. And I think in an offense that likes a lot of screens to a guy like Eckler, and then you spread it deep to a guy like Keenan Allen, you need time for that. And I think Darrisaw is so NFL ready. He's so big. And I just love that fit.
Yeah, a really, really good. And again, it goes back to the philosophy with Joe Burrow. Got a rookie quarterback last year. The best thing you can do for young quarterbacks is get them protection. And like you said, 6'5", 314 pounds, just an absolute baller at the tackle position.
Yeah.
At 14, we were talking about this beforehand. I think the thing that you guys have definitely seen the most is AVT here to the Minnesota Vikings. I think that edge could certainly be in play. We were talking about, when you looked at the Vikings last year, Kirk Cousins probably had his best season ever, played really, really good football. Justin Jefferson, fantastic receiving threat. Obviously, Adam Thielen's been great for a really long time. And Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the league. So it's a really, really good base offense. Sure, the offensive line needs to be addressed, but I think there's really good depth guys in the second round. And what I mean by depth guys is not depth guys on your roster, but guys that are going to be available in the second and third round. And we were talking about it, Eichenberg could be available then. And even if you look at the interior offensive line, which is where they would probably play AVT, you got guys like Creed Humphrey that could be available, Wyatt Davis that could be available in the second round. So there's
Quinn Miners.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh. So there's a lot of good players in the second round that the Vikings could address that with. Why not go out and get the best edge rusher in the class? And to me, that's Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. Jalen Phillips is an incredible player, and yes, you have the injury history there, but I think Phillips or Ojulari is the pick here, and Phillips I don't mind at all. Mike Zimmer said it's the worst defense he's ever had.
It could be Parsons too.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've seen a lot of reports about how a lot of teams want to use Parsons, especially if he goes to a 3-4 scheme as one of those outside linebackers that can play off the ball, but then it can come in on third downs and rush the passer just because he's so athletic and such a physical dominance that I think that a lot of teams might actually use him as a pass rusher.
Yeah. And 15, this pick is really difficult for me just because of what's fallen here. And because I know who I'm picking for, I'm actually not going to take Mac Jones to New England here.
Football team fans are happy.
Yeah, I'm going to let him slide again because I don't think there's a world in which New England passes on Micah Parsons if he's there. And they've been searching for a guy that can play in the middle and can be a really good athlete.
Now, here's a guy
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Chris Collinsworth him. Here's a guy that can absolutely play everywhere. And you have a guy like Kyle Van Noy that they used to have and now brought back, but that's not really your athlete. Dante Hightower's old. Get Micah Parsons, re-solidify the middle of that defense, and you can play with the likes of Josh Allen day in and day out.
Yeah, I think that it's a good pickup. Again, personally, I would have taken Mac Jones. Quarterback's the most valuable position, but Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the class, in my opinion. So it is a catch-22. I mean, like, you could go either way. Football team fans are certainly happy, though.
Yeah.
Very happy. Again, disclaimer, me and Max do not think
he's not going to fall this
that
far.
Mac Jones will fall to the 19th pick. He will go in the top 10, but it's a mock draft and no trades. At 16, corners are kind of off the board here. I mean, Caleb Farley you could look at, but with the injury and the back surgery, is it worth the risk? Because it is a huge risk, but it could also be a big reward. I'm a big Greg Newsome guy now.
Me too.
I've been watching a lot of him.
Yep.
Big fan. You could even go... Actually, no, they just brought in James Conner. I'll bite my tongue. You can't go running back anymore.
I had ETN in my most recent mock draft and trade back, but...
Yeah, I'm glad I caught myself. All right, I'm going to go Greg Newsome.
Yeah, I love Greg Newsome here. And I actually have, in the mock draft I put out on my Instagram account not too long ago, I had Tennessee trading up for Newsome to this spot. But I think with the James Conner signing, you have Edmonds and Conner. You can live with that. And they drafted... somebody last year late. I think it was I don't know. I forget. A good running back that they had last year that they brought in to be an RB3. And I'm going to look that up real quick because that's on my mind now. But
it was the rookie, wasn't it?
yeah, it's a rookie, Eno Benjamin. There it is. Okay.
I was high on Eno.
Me too. I was really high on Eno Benjamin. I was thinking Kalen Ballage, same school.
Yeah,
but
Arizona State boys.
Love Greg Newsome. And I think he will go ahead of Farley because of the injury. I don't think he's better than Farley, but I think he's definitely got first-round talent. So moving on to 17, the Raiders kind of ripped up their O-line, but there's not really a center I would go with to replace Rodney Hudson here. And I'm not going to say AVT is going to play center because he's a tackle guard guy.
Well, they did lose
Incognito,
and Trent Brown, so...
Yeah. So, Darisaw off the board too, and I'm really tempted to make this pick because of the division you look at. You have guys like Noah Fant, and I know where you think I'm going to go because I'm mentioning tight ends, and it's not that.
Albert Okwuegbunam.
What?
Albert O?
I'm going to say Noah Fant, Travis Kelce, Albert O. You have to get guys that can defend that, and I would say take... JOK.
Okay.
But he's going to be one of the smaller guys on the field when he gets to the NFL. He's like 6'2", 216.
Well, that's why a lot of people have been playing at safety most recently.
Yes. But I'm going to channel my Raiders here.
Why does it say his number's 30 on this website?
No idea.
Interesting.
I'm going to take the guy that this website has ranked 30, though. And I'm going to take Jamin Davis at 17. And I'm going to channel my inner Raiders and take the guy that might be the best athlete at the linebacker position. And I think if you give him a little time, he will develop into one of the better cover linebackers. He has defensive rookie of the year potential. And I think if the Raiders take him at 17, and I doubt they'll take a conventional player, if the Raiders take him at 17, I think they will receive a lot of reward for this.
Yeah. I don't know about a lot of reward. I love Jamin.
Yeah.
Jamin. I know it's Jamin, but me and Max rock with Jamin.
Yeah. We're jamming with Jamin.
Yeah. Okay. Jamin Davis is a fantastic player. I've recently had a draft crush on him. Really, really like him. I really like any guy out of Kentucky. Like,
yeah, Josh
I
Allen.
really love Josh Allen.
Me too.
I love Benny Snell. Benny Snell is probably one of my favorite college football players of all time. I'm going to order his Chinese jersey. But the Raiders are, again, what you said, unconventional. They never do anything that you expect them to do. Like David Arnett was a third-round caliber corner, and they took him in the first, and it didn't pan out for them. He had not a great season. So it's tough. I don't know if I like it. I love Jamin, but I don't know if I like it. Didn't they take? Yeah, they took Janikowski in the first round. So you never know.
Nope.
They are the Raiders. All right,
They
Jamin
are.
Davis.
17.
I do like the pick. I mean, that could even be a Trayvon Moehrig spot.
Yeah, I think it could be too.
We see that a lot too. All right, at 18, Some of the edge guys are still here. Dolphins could go in that direction with JOK still on the board. I think we could see them go with JOK, and then of course you could see the running back direction go here if they wanted to reach on a Najee or a Travis, whoever they're higher on. As much as I love Azeez Ojulari, I love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah more, so I'm going to take him here, and here's why. The Dolphins do need a safety. Yeah, Eric Rowe's okay, and so is Bobby McCain, I think, is their other one. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can line up anywhere on the field. He can be that box safety that you need. He can come down, play inside linebacker, great athlete, great in coverage, really just a good player all around. And I don't feel bad doing this because I would love him to fall to the football team, but a better player has fallen to the football team. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to the Dolphins, I think, makes a lot of sense.
I was thinking JOK or Azeez, and I think that's the right choice. 19, Mac Jones has fallen far enough. Not really going to spend much time on this. If he's at 19, for whatever reason, he'll be the pick. Mac Jones, Alabama, all the quarterbacks have gone off the board, unless you want to do something crazy at 32.
Davis Mills? You know who, by the way, pause in the mock draft action.
Yeah.
When you see Davis Mills start to come up into the first round, a guy with raw arm talent, good size, but really nothing else, just like that high potential, who is a first-round quarterback that shouldn't have gone in the first round, but went in the first round a few drafts back, and sucked in the NFL?
Manziel.
No, a little. My mock draft just disappeared. That's unfortunate. I have no idea who he selected now.
I have it.
All right, you have it. Paxton Lynch.
Oh, okay.
That's who Davis Mills is currently reminding me of.
Yeah, as a Broncos fan for you, I can see that. And I don't really know if Paxton Lynch ever got his fair crack, but he certainly wasn't good when he came in. But yeah, I just don't think Davis Mills is worthy of that first-round pick. And if Tampa takes him at 32, that's kind of the only way I could see it because he'll sit for a while, Jordan Love style, but I don't know if that's worth it.
All right, so the Bears are on the clock. Again, I lost my entire mock draft, but I think wide receivers in play here. They could even take corner with the loss of Kyle Fuller. Obviously, Jalen Johnson played really, really good football last year. And who's the other corner that they have? He's been in the league forever.
I don't know.
Who cares?
It's the Bears.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll take Tevin Jenkins here.
Okay. Tevin Jenkins is a mauler, and I think he's the best tackle left for them. I like Cosme better than him, but I think Tevin Jenkins can go up against some of the best speed rushers and just control them and neutralize them, so I like that pick a lot.
Yeah.
21, the Colts. I think this could get interesting here. I would certainly take Tevin Jenkins if he was available. Can't really go in that direction. And I think the Colts could get another weapon outside at wide receiver. And I am not going to take the guy. No, screw it. I'm doing it. Dorsey and I have talked about this long enough. I'm going to take Elijah Moore. I think he fits the Colts offense so much, and I think Rashad Bateman is really too similar to what they already have.
And just for clarification, you have Rashad above Elijah.
I have Rashad Bateman at my wide receiver 4, and I think he's in the group with Waddle, Smith, and Chase. I love Rashad Bateman. And if the Colts were to take Rashad Bateman, excellent pick. But I think Elijah Moore is the guy the Colts don't have. And I think he's what Paris Campbell was supposed to be. And we've talked about that a ton, and I think that's what leads me to make that pick.
All right. At 23, the Jets are on the clock.
22.
Oh, 22. Sorry. Again, I'm kind of lost right now. The Titans, edge rusher could be in play, but again, you brought in Bud Dupree. You have Harold Landry, who's a free agent next year, and you have Jeffrey Simmons up the middle, who's a really, really good football player. Obviously had the concerns coming out of the draft with the off-the-field issues, but proved his worth last year, I think. Corner could be the spot. This could be the Caleb Farley spot we see. And then wide receiver would be the other one. Do they take a Rashad Bateman, kind of a Corey Davis similar type player replacement? I think all those players are certainly in contention here for the Titans, but with the fact that you released Adoree Jackson, you didn't re-sign Desmond King, I think your secondary is in shambles, so you got to take the risk on Caleb Farley and go Farley here.
I love that pick, and I completely agree. Their secondary's in shambles, and I don't think you can resist a guy like Caleb Farley. Jets at 23, and I'm going to take the guy who I have ranked number 1 on my edge board, and I think he's fallen far enough and Look at a team that lost Leonard Williams, lost Henry Anderson. They can fill in the holes they have on that defensive line. And he's not really just the defensive lineman guy, pop back to outside linebacker. I'm going to go with Zizo Ujulari out of Georgia for the Jets. And I think he is just an incredible athlete and another guy that I think could end up being the Defensive Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done. So I think if he's there at 23, the Jets shouldn't hesitate.
Yeah. I like Aziz a lot. And I said this to you last time, as much as I love Aziz, and I think he's far better than the player I'm about to mention, I think the Jets very well are in a team that could end up taking Jason Elway.
Yeah, I think he's definitely.
I think that's like Salah's type. Like, that's who Salah wants.
Yeah.
So I think that could just because of the raw athleticism, he's only been playing like competitive football for 4 years. Got just that track speed at the edge position that you really don't see. Got better and better each year at Penn State. It's kind of a similar situation about like Chad Surratt that I talk about, where like he's so football young that when you see the improvement each year, just imagine what he can do with the NFL coaching staff.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Jason Elway. But again, Aziz is I think both are a favorite or one of our favorite players in this class. So a bit undersized, but I think Salah can make any edge defender work.
He'll make it work.
All right, 24. This is an interesting spot. And I think the Steelers have seen him fall far enough, and they're going to take the risk and maybe put him at tackle for a year. DeCastro is getting old. You can eventually move him back inside if you need, but I'm taking AVT here.
Yeah, I think if he slips this far, it's a no-brainer, especially because of the O-linemen they've lost, like Villanueva too. They just need a lineman.
That's why I would say plug him in at a tackle, fill the Villanueva hole. Like you said about, I forget who we were just talking about, but you're not going to play him at center. Like, they lost Pouncey, but I don't think they're going to...
Yeah, AVT.
Yeah. So I think that, right now, tackle would be the best spot for him in Pittsburgh, but again, he can eventually play anywhere you need him to on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Except for maybe center.
Similar to the Penny Sewell pick at 5.
Yeah.
Like, you just need... In that division, you need a good O-line, and I think that Pittsburgh's... Like, yes, the Najee Harris pick is exciting, not really what they need. And Snell and McFarland, you'll live.
Yeah. I love Snell.
Yeah, me too. He wasn't really productive last year, but again, O-line was not all that great.
By the way, this by no means means that you don't pick a running back in the second round.
Yeah, exactly. It's a deep class.
You could
there's
very well
6
get
running
Michael
backs
Carter.
that I like.
Who are they?
I like Najee Harris,
Etienne,
Williams, Carter, Gainwell, Sermon.
Gainwell. Oh, Sermon in there.
Yeah, so I'm sneaking that in. I think Sermon could be a sneaky producer, and I think your Broncos could be looking at a running back.
I would love a running back, maybe in the third.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mind like Jared Patterson on like first and second down, and then
trade back from 9 to get Javonte Williams in the second round with an extra second round pick.
Maybe, yeah. Jared Patterson in the fourth, I wouldn't mind at all.
Not his biggest fan, but yeah.
I am.
I know. So 25, Jacksonville. There is a wide receiver in Bateman that I do like here. I don't know how much I like him for Jacksonville.
He's like DJ Chark, but that creates way more separation.
Yeah, and Jacksonville's got a lot of picks. Deep wide receiver class, I think you can wait. Tackle, I'm not really going to love up on any of the tackles that are still available, like Samuel Cosme, a guy like that. I think Jacksonville should go to the other side of the ball, and we saw them almost take Xavier McKinney last year. They didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Trevon Merrick. And I think he's by far the best safety available, and that 25 is such a sweet spot for him.
Yeah, I think it's something that's been continuously mocked like forever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, at 26, we just talked about the Browns could be a team that signs Jadeveon Clowney. And for that reason, I'm taking Gregory Rousseau at this spot, and I'll tell you why. Yes, he's falling down draft boards. Yes, it is a very likely scenario that he falls into the second round, early second round pick. But right now, I think with how the draft board has fallen and the possible addition of Jadeveon Clowney, I think that the Browns really need someone that can play on the interior defensive line and rush the passer from that position more than they need anything else right now, especially if they add Jadeveon Clowney. And Gregory Rousseau, I've mentioned this before, has the flexibility to do that. He's done it at Miami. He's 6'7". He has the size to do it. How much is he weighing right now?
245.
Yeah, this says 260.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that that's like perfect 4-3 defensive tackle size if you need him to do that. That's what the Browns are currently running. Linebacker could certainly be in play here as well, but I think I really like the Rousseau fit fit because he gives you the ability to have a dominant pass rusher from the interior of your defensive line. And then once you get rid of Jadeveon Clowney in the future, Olivier Verdon's off the team, I think then that's when you can slide Gregory Rousseau outside and make him the permanent edge rusher alongside Myles Garrett.
I think Rousseau or Zaven Collins would be a great pick here. Imagine that with Myles Garrett.
And that's like the same thing I'm talking about, where you have the versatility to play that interior defensive line or edge, but now you, with Zaven, linebacker edge.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Zaven, I'm not going to take him here, just because I'm a Ravens fan and I don't want to see them take Zaven Collins. And I think you know damn well who I'm taking here, and it's Rashad
Amari
Bateman.
Rodgers. Oh.
Oh, no. Rashad Bateman, 27. I think the Ravens, a while back, the McCaffrey class, and I know that's not what it's known as, but when you had Corey Davis there in that draft class, that was a name the Ravens loved. And then he went early, and then John Ross. All those guys just got taken away from the Ravens.
Are you telling me you would...
I'm comparing Corey Davis to Rashad Bateman.
You would have wanted to draft John Ross.
No. Corey Davis.
John Ross.
I would have wanted Corey Davis. Okay. I mean, I wanted John Ross on draft night, but thank God.
Was that the year we drafted Bowles?
Yeah, it was the year we got Marlon Humphrey. That's why I'm saying it was a blessing. But Rashad Bateman, 27, I think is a perfect fit, and he reminds me of Corey Davis. And I think that if he lands with the Ravens, you're looking at a capable receiving core, which is what they need.
Yes. Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman,
Duvernay, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Prochet, shoot me.
Nick Boyle.
Stop it.
He's good.
Yeah.
Great blocker.
Great blocker.
He catches touchdowns.
Mark Andrews. Oh, Patrick
Overrated.
Ricard. Mark Andrews is not overrated.
Very overrated.
Yeah.
All right, at 28, the New Orleans Saints. Did you see that Kevin James, like Paul Blart Mall Cop, is going to play Sean Payton in a movie?
Yeah.
And it's like the year he I don't get the movie.
He had to coach his son's team because of Bounty Gate.
Yeah, because he got suspended for paying Jonathan Vilma to kill Brett Favre. Interesting. I don't know. Kevin James. That's just like insulting to Sean Payton.
Yeah, that's
he's a little chunky. But is he that chunky?
Kevin James is like, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but Kevin James is known for being the fat, funny guy. Like, that is Kevin James's role in those Adam Sandler movies. He's like the fat, funny guy.
Interesting. So it's an interesting cast. Maybe he'll lose a few pounds.
Maybe Sean Payton will
be less funny
it out.
It's like Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Got less funny. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, got off track there for a second. The top tier corners are off the board, so I don't think I'm going corner. Eric Stokes is good. Kelvin Joseph has been a fast riser. I've even seen Asante Samuel in the first round recently. Elijah Molden's your guy, right?
I love Molden.
Melifonwu, even. But definitely not, actually. I might throw it back here. Not like that. And go linebacker Nick Bolton that I've been mocking there a lot. But then again, you did lose Trey Hendrickson, and Kwity Paye is still on the board. I'm going to go Kwity Paye.
I think Kwity Paye falling out of round 1 is a possible thing. I'm not going to say it's likely, but we're not Kwity Paye fans here.
This is not a Kwity Paye podcast.
No.
This is an Aziz Ojolari podcast.
This is Aziz and Jalen Phillips, and I mean, I'm huge on Joseph Osai. Not that he's going to be a first-round pick, but...
And I'm huge on Jason Owe.
Yeah, me too. Love that guy. We're not Kwity Paye fans.
I might even like Ronnie Perkins more than I like Kwity Paye.
I love Ronnie Perkins.
He might go to the Ravens.
I wouldn't...
In the second round.
If you know the Ravens, they would take the Oklahoma guy in the first round.
That's true.
29.
Didn't do it last year.
No. Who would it have been last year?
Kenneth. Oh, no, because they
Kenneth.
before you.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And then we took a first LSU player ever. 29, Green Bay. There's a lot of different directions you could go here, and you mentioned corners gone. And I think wide receiver's the pick people would want to see. And, I mean... If you ask me to do wide receiver, I'm going to take a guy that like nobody talks about, and I'm not going to do it. He's ranked 74th on TDN. You can go find him. And I'm not going to take him.
Tylan Wallace.
But...
No, dude, 36. 36 is open.
No? I'm not doing that. I'm going to go tackle.
See, this is why this is fun.
Yeah. I'm going to go Cosme and steal my Chiefs pick because I think that O-line is aging, and
Brian Bulaga.
this team's going to, I think the Packers are going to, have a flip over. It's going to be like the Rodgers, the Bakhtiari, those guys getting older and older, and they're going to build, that younger core, like A.J. Dillon and those guys, and it's just going to flip over. Jordan Love. And I think Cosme can be a part of that, and I think that's part of what's going to just keep the Packers going for a long time.
All right. I don't mind the pick. Tackle's certainly a need. I would have loved Kadarius Toney. I don't know how you didn't take Kadarius Toney.
It would have been an exciting pick.
Because, you have your Devontae Adams. He's your pure X receiver. And if Elijah Moore or Kadarius Toney is available at 29 and the Packers don't effing take one of them, I'd be so mad if I was a Packers fan.
Oh, me too. I would.
Because that's the exact player you need.
I'd go insane. It's the two they need. But I think tackle is a big need, and Cosme, I think, is the last guy that's
They're going to take another quarterback. This is my Davis Mills spot. 30.
What?
The Buffalo Bills. What?
Davis Mills?
No.
Okay.
I was saying Packers was my Davis Mills spot.
Jeez.
This is the Bills also love quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Jake Fromm, Josh Allen, and
Jake
Mitch
Fromm
Trubisky.
says some fun things.
No. Let's not get into that. Mitch Trubisky, I think, is the quarterback of the future in Buffalo, so don't really need to worry about quarterback here. And at 30, I'm going to take the running back, and it's Najee Harris.
Yeah, I love that. They kind of lack of running back themselves out of the playoffs.
Also, it's the fact that right now, I think the Bills are similar to the Chiefs where, they're such a good team. Any pick is a luxury pick. So, why not make your offense way more dynamic? Devin Singletary and Zach Moss are, one, tight backs. They can't really do, everything. I think you even cut Devin Singletary if you draft a running back. And
I would say cut him because Zach Moss, I think, has potential. And you saw flashes of it last year.
Yeah.
And then Braid is the veteran. It's like LaShawn McCoy for the Bucs. You're not going to see Braid on the field 24/7. It's like they had Yeldon last year. I guarantee you Yeldon did a lot behind the scenes. But
where's Gore now?
Frank Gore?
Yeah.
It's a really good question.
Is he still in the Jets? Did he retire?
No, I think there would have been 150 NFL posts. He's a free agent. That's a crime.
Someone sign him.
Please.
Just for leadership.
If you're
he
watching
made Ty
this,
Johnson run for 200 yards in one game.
Yeah. Okay. 31. Whew. I think this is the first round spot for this wide receiver I'm talking about. And I don't really think he's a first round talent. And I know you see him to the Ravens a lot.
You're gonna put Tylen in the first?
No.
Oh, okay.
You see him to the Ravens a lot, and I don't really like him as a Ravens fan. But I think if he's on the Chiefs, this is where he finds success. They don't have the big receiver.
Are you talking about the guy that ran the 4.38?
The fake 4.38 at the LSU's combine, yeah. Terrace Marshall to the Chiefs would be such a good fit.
I thought you were about to throw Tylen Wallace in the first round.
I might, just to say screw it, because I love Tylen Wallace. But Terrace Marshall with the Chiefs would be so special. They lost Sammy Watkins, and I'm not a believer in Demarcus Robinson outside of anything as a wide receiver 4. So Marshall, Hill, and then Kelsey in the middle. I love that. Robinson maybe gets to sneak in there. Byron Pringle, you see that. And, of course, Mecole Hardman's your track star. You put him everywhere. So I think that kind of fills out your receiving core, and that's a luxury pick that will pay a lot of dividends, and another LSU guy that they take late.
Yeah. All right. So 32 is a really interesting spot now because we've kind of taken a lot of the players that I would love to see the Bucs take. Greg Rousseau being one of them for literally the exact same reason that I put him to the Browns. Running back all of a sudden is a need on this website for the Bucs.
God knows why.
I really like Rojo.
Rojo's
I've
so
just
good.
spotted my boy Giannavi Bernard.
That's not.
I think playoff Lenny might still be on a team somewhere.
He is on this team.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. I don't think running backs a need. Travis Etienne's a really good player.
They also drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, who exists and will be on the roster.
They might have the deepest running back room ever.
Yeah, screw you, TDN. Don't put this at need.
I think hell, you could go Davion Nixon here. Our guy Levi, Christian Barmore could be in play if you really wanted an interior defensive lineman. I'm gonna do Kadarius. They haven't re-signed AB yet. I'm a big Scotty Miller guy myself, but Kadarius is just better, and that's a sick receiver 3.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney is first round talent.
Yeah.
Will he go in the first round? I don't know. And the teams that need receiver like Baltimore and stuff like that, like Tennessee's got bigger needs. Baltimore just can't take Hollywood again. So I think that Kadarius to the Bucs that's special with
Yeah.
Godwin and Evans. And Godwin, you don't know how much longer you have him for, so that's a good pick.
All right, so
Save this
let's
bad boy.
let's recap this just real quick because that was kind of a long process. But number 1 overall, Trevor Lawrence to the Jags. 2, Jets take Zach Wilson. 49ers take Justin Fields. Atlanta takes Kyle Pitts at 4. At 5, you got Penei Sewell to the Bengals. 6, Jamar Chase to the Dolphins. 7, Jalen Waddle to the Lions. 8, Rashawn Slater to the Panthers. 9, Trey Lance to the Broncos. 10, Surtain to the Cowboys. 11, Parsons to the Giants.
Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I effed it up. You go from here.
Okay.
I just started putting all the players we drafted in.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
I
Devontae
fell
Smith went
behind.
11 to the Giants. No, we'll switch off. You did 10, now I get to jump in. Devontae Smith, 11 to the Giants. J.C. Horn to the Eagles. Christian Darrisaw to the Chargers. Jalen Phillips to the Vikings. Micah Parsons to the Patriots. Greg Newsome to the Cardinals. Jamin Davis to the Raiders. Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah to the Dolphins. Mac Jones to the football team.
Not going to happen.
Tevin Jenkins to the Bears, Elijah Moore to the Colts, Caleb Farley to the Titans, Azeez Ojulari to the Jets, Elijah Vera Tucker to the Steelers, Trevon Merrick to the Jaguars, Gregory Rousseau to the Browns, Rashad Bateman to the Ravens, Kwity Paye to the Saints, Samuel Cosme to the Packers, Najee Harris to the Bills, Terrace Marshall to the Kansas City Chiefs, and Kadarius Toney to the Bucks.
All right.
There it is.
Good mock.
Yeah, 1.0, boomer bust 1.0.
Yeah. All right, so we didn't clickbait you. We actually did a mock draft.
There it is.
It took 45 minutes, but I don't think we have time for another game.
Worth it. Yeah.
Let's just talk draft, Max.
Yeah.
What's like the number 1 topic on your mind right now?
On my mind right now. Whew.
What's got you staying up at night about the NFL draft?
About the NFL draft, that was loud. 3.
So unprofessional.
Very unprofessional. 3 is on my mind because I know what I would do if I was the 49ers, and it's the one option that isn't really talked about, and it's Lance. Because he's got the best potential of those 3, I think. And he fits that team. And you're sitting him. That's what Lance needs. You redshirt him under Garoppolo. And I think Lance would be an all-pro level quarterback. So that's what I just don't see why they don't see it. And maybe it is Pro Day 2.0.
When is it?
I think it's the 19th. I'll make sure of that. But
10 days before draft. By the way, we are 16 days
wow.
away.
Can't wait.
Stuff. 2
It's
weeks
Christmas.
from Thursday. Literally, it is Christmas. And that might sound lame, but
This is what we live for.
yeah. Literally, like, me and Max, like, in September, like, when we first see each other in school, it would be like, have you made your first mock yet?
And the answer is usually,
Yes.
obviously.
It's like, I'm on my 4th.
Yeah. Trey Lance is the 19th, and Fields is Wednesday.
All right, yeah.
Which
so,
is tomorrow.
Oh, that is tomorrow. Dude,
Justin Fields.
we're in break right now, and I've lost track of the days.
Me too. Yeah. April break is not good for the brain. But it's really good for the draft, and I love that. Also, Kyle Pitts' landing spot, that's been on my mind for a long time because I think he could go Atlanta, he could go Cincinnati, he could go Miami. I don't think he'll go to the Lions. He could go Carolina, he could go Dallas. So that's wild to me, and then I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers gathered their balls and sent it up for Kyle Pitts. Because that would be special.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they traded up for Penei Sewell.
I mean, I saw that on a mock draft today, them trading up to 4. I don't know, Atlanta probably wouldn't move that far back because that's a risk of losing Surtain and Horn, but we just had Surtain go 10 and Horn 12, so I think that's risky, but
Okay. I think a fun way to end off this mock,
yeah.
or not mock, this pod, would be, do you have like a really old mock, like your first mock draft from this year?
Let me go see.
Because I was going back and looking at mine, and mine is hilarious.
And
And it's going to be a completely different draft order.
Yeah. Well, December 2nd. Oh, November 14th.
I think mine is October 26th. So
My November 14th one might be entertaining.
I'm a little bit earlier than you.
Wow. This is wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our order is probably going to be different because they're different dates. I had the Jets picking first.
Me too.
Who? Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. I had I don't know if you remember. It was like when we interviewed Connor Rogers. I had a Justin Fields phase where I was like, "This is the number one quarterback."
I remember that.
That was like when his Heisman campaign was like at its peak.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing so well. I was just watching games. I didn't even watch tape yet.
Yeah, no, I don't really watch tape till the end of the year, but I had Fields at 2 to Jacksonville.
Okay, I had the Giants picking at 2.
Okay.
And just guess.
Russo.
Yes.
Because
nailed it.
They're at 4 for me, and I had Russo.
Yeah, okay. So Russo to the Giants at 2.
Jesus.
I had Jacksonville picking at 3. I didn't give him quarterback. This was like, I think this was like Minshew had just like won the first game, was playing well like through the first like 3 weeks, and I was like, you know what, they got to keep Minshew.
Mm-hmm.
They can't draft a quarterback.
I had them Fields at 2.
I had Penei Sewell going to the Jags.
Okay, so as we move into 3, I had the Chargers, and I took Sewell.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you had Giants at 4 taking Rousseau. I had Falcons at 4 taking Fields.
Wow. I had the Falcons 10 on mine, but we'll get to that later. 5 for me was Zach Wilson to the Washington football team.
5 for me was Micah Parsons to the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. So 6, Surtain to Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah. There it is. Oh my God.
My
wow.
7th pick is so funny. All right, my 6th pick was Trey Lance to Minnesota.
That's interesting. 7, Jamar Chase to Miami.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. 7, Alex Leatherwood to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's when Leatherwood was my OT too.
Yeah, so Cincinnati was my 8. I had Kwity Paye. We kind of just derailed everything Kwity Paye has going for him, which I'm sorry about. He's still a day 1 talent, but
all right, yeah.
There's a lot of edge rushers.
I think he's a day 2 talent, personally. Surtain to the Cowboys. All right, at 8. I had that too. I'm going to clap it up for myself.
9, Parsons to Carolina.
Jamar Chase to the football team.
Wow.
That'd be
special.
sick.
Yeah, that would be sick. 10, I had Caleb Farley to Atlanta.
I bet the football team really wishes they didn't throw that game.
Yeah.
The
Eagles didn't.
The Eagles didn't throw that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as fun as it was, and they played well in the playoffs versus the Bucs.
Yeah.
I think they gave the Bucs the best run for their money out of anyone. But, like, the opportunity to pick at, like, 9 or 10 or 11 right now, or actually they'd be picking at, like, 12, I think, would be really, really, like, nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier to trade up for a quarterback. And their team's already, like, great.
It is.
It's just the quarterback. Who was your 10? Did you say?
Caleb Farley to Atlanta.
Rondale Moore to the Los Angeles
Holy
Chargers.
crap.
I love the guy.
He has to. 11, I have Jalen Waddle to the Lions. Oh my God, my 12 is funny.
I had Kyle pitch the Patriots at 11.
12, Wyatt Davis to the Vikings.
I definitely have that. I guarantee. Not at 12. I think it was... Let me just scroll down. No, I didn't.
Wow.
I have him in the first round.
Okay.
I had where were the Vikings picking at this point in time? Oh, I already did them. I had Lance to the Vikings at 6.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
All right. We're at 12.
Yeah.
I had Dylan Moses to the Denver Broncos.
Wow. 13, Lance to the Bears.
Farley to the Panthers.
14, J.C. Horn to the Broncos.
Waddle to the Dolphins.
15, this is fun. We talked about this guy. Joseph Osai to the Raiders.
I had Wyatt Davis to the Raiders at 15.
16, Pitts to New England.
Rashad Bateman to Detroit.
17, Sean Wade to the Browns.
I had Sean Wade to the 49ers at 17. Hold on. I just want to make it clear. Devontae Smith has not been picked yet in mine.
Devontae Smith is about to be picked in mine in a couple picks. Cosme to the Colts at 18 for me.
Pat Freiermuth to the Saints.
Wow. Devontae Smith to the Eagles at 19.
Jeff Holland to the Eagles at 19.
Wow. Stokes 20 to the Cardinals.
Kwity Paye to the Colts.
21 Dylan Moses.
This is funny. To who?
The Dolphins.
Jacksonville Jaguars take Brevin Jordan.
Whoo! 3 tight ends. Jalen Mayfield 22 to the Jags.
Carlos Basham to the Cleveland Browns.
Creed Humphrey to the 49ers.
Devontae Smith to Tampa Bay.
Oh my God. That'd be scary. Bateman to the Titans.
At 24?
Yeah.
Paulson Adebo to the Bills.
Speaking of guys like that, Jay Tufele to Tampa Bay.
I still like Jay. We talked about
Me
this
too.
last time.
Yeah.
At 25, I had Quincy Roche to the Cardinals.
Paulson Adebo to the Jets, 26.
ETN to the Jets.
Rondale Moore to my Ravens. I can't believe I did that.
Creed Humphrey to your Ravens at 27.
Yeah. Christian Darrisaw to the Giants. That must have been a trade.
That's your
or
27th?
something. 28.
28, yeah, you probably did do a trade.
Yeah.
At 28, I had Marvin Wilson. Remember that name?
Oh, God.
To the Tennessee Titans.
Tylan Wallace
Wow, there he
to
is.
Green Bay at 29.
This is funny. With the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. This was like right when the buzz was starting to happen.
Wow. Pat Freiermuth.
Did you have Wilson?
5.
5, yeah. See, like that's like the difference
That's
between
the
those
month.
3 weeks.
That's the month.
Yeah.
Pat Freiermuth to Jacksonville at 30, which we could see.
I had Cosme to the Chiefs. All right.
This was Kyle Trask Saints.
Terrace Marshall Packers.
And then Alex Leatherwood Steelers.
J2 Flay Steelers.
Wow.
Steelers were undefeated.
Yeah. Oh God, I made a second round. That's terrifying.
Oh, I don't even.
I'll just read you some of the wild names. I had Quincy Roche 35, Chuba Hubbard 38 to New England. There's Mac Jones chilling at 43 to the Bucks. Trey Smith 44, Adrian Hutchinson who ended up going back to the Broncos. Jalen Twyman 48.
I was high on Hutchinson.
Yeah. Oh wow. Darion Kendrick, another guy that went back and got booted off the football team, I think.
Was he Florida State or no?
Clemson.
Then, oh yeah, he did.
Buried in here, I have Jason Away, Zaven Collins, and then I had Kenneth Gainwell, 63 to the Raiders.
All right.
Kenneth Gainwell and the Raiders.
Why did Kendrick get kicked off?
Prior to the Kenyon Drake signing? That would have been nice.
His Wikipedia page has Darian Kendrick as an American football corner who formerly played for the Clemson Tigers. So yes, he did get kicked off. Oh, we got arrested.
Do you see the You're on the Clock thing on TDN? It's got Trey Lance in a Vikings uniform. I think Kyle Pitts in a Cardinals uniform.
I did just see that.
That's wild.
Way to go. I clicked that on my mock.
That's fun to look back at.
It is. I want to do that like.
We can cap every show like that.
Yeah, I think that's fun. We'll start doing that more often.
Pass mocks.
Yeah.
Grilling ourselves.
But I think that's a good place to stop, no?
Yeah, I do too.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for Boom or Bust Podcast Episode 2. If you like the mock draft or just like this style of video, please subscribe, like, comment, and check out Max's YouTube or Instagram.
At NFL Draft Geek with a little underscore at the end of that.
That's linked in the description. Yeah, guys, take it easy. Peace.